This is the Humble watercolor pencil, by far the most overlooked color medium or art medium. So today I'm going to show you 3 fun ways to work with watercolor pencils. It's by no means an exhaustive list of things to do with watercolor pencils, but it is useful if you're joining me on the 7-day micro art challenge. Welcome to day 2 of my 7-day micro art challenge. Yesterday we did blobby blooms in watercolors and fine liner pens, but I also did the blobby blooms in watercolor pencils just to show you how versatile they are and that you can do these art prompts for this challenge with literally any color medium. I am using the Faber-Castell ones in the red box. It's the school range. It's the very inexpensive range, but for the price you pay, this is really good quality pigment in here. Included in this art challenge is me showing you a few ways to set up mini kits that you can have handy. It can travel with you to the park, to the beach, or just outside to the porch with a cup of tea. Today's kit is watercolor pencil, so let's have a look what is in this one. For today we've got the kit in a little upcycled makeup bag. It's still small, still very portable, so I have my watercolor pencils. I have a piece of paper towel, a water brush, and an extra piece of paper. This is extra watercolor paper that I cut off when I made my little card. So this is playing card size, 2.5 inch by 3.5 inch. It's slightly bigger than what we worked on yesterday, but I'm giving you options. I'm just showing you, you don't have to stick to the postage stamp size. And I have a sharpener in there. That's it. That's everything that we need to actually make a tiny little piece of art with a cup of tea outside on the porch, on the park bench, or just at home in front of the TV. The prompt for the day 2 of the 7-day challenge is Summer Sunset. It's on your screen now. It's basically a yellow, orange, and purple, almost like an ombre wash with a few V birds or M birds, what you want to call them, and a tree silhouette. So let's get going, and in the process I'm going to show you 3 fun ways to activate your watercolor pencils. Stay to the end if you want to see how I did yesterday's prompt in watercolor pencils. So we need our piece of watercolor paper and our pencil. So we're going to do a yellow, orange to a dark purple. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the dark purple. There you are. Is that the darkest? Yes. 3 pencils, they're already nice and sharp. So what we need is this ombre wash. There's 2 ways to do it. I'm going to do the one from the one side and the other one from the other side. First things first, when you work with watercolor pencils on the paper, you do not want to burnish the paper, meaning going in with a sharp tip and pressing really hard, because all you're going to do is just flatten the tooth of the paper. Now the tooth is like the texture that holds on to the pigment. Okay, you're going to flatten that and you're going to struggle to actually get pigment to stick to the paper. Best thing to do, especially when working with washes, is to use the side of the pencil. So I'm going to I'm holding it. I'm taking the side of the pencil and I'm laying my pigment down. I'm not pressing really hard. You can see the texture of the paper through there. I'm not trying to color in the paper. I am just laying pigment down onto the paper. So I'm using the side. I'm laying pigment down. That is the yellow. I'm going to switch over to the orange because it is an ombre. Again, the side of the pencil, I'm just laying pigment down. And the purple I'm going to do from the other side to show you a different technique. So this is the first technique, straight dry pencil onto dry paper, and now I'm going to blend. Take your water brush, make sure it's got water coming out. And this is the magic of watercolor pencils. Look at that amount of pigment that you have. Just compare that. That doesn't look like there's much on the paper, but the minute you add water, it's magic. I'm just going back and forth, going back in to the yellow with my orange and pulling the yellow back down Let's make sure there's water coming out. You normally have a continuous flow with your water brushes, but sometimes they do stop. So I just got it going again on the side over here. Now while that is drying, I am going to show you the other technique, and that is turning your watercolor pencil into watercolor like straight away. There's a few things that you can work on. You can work on a blending palette, which costs money. Extra pieces of paper is just what you have extra. That's not going to cost you a cent. So I'm going to add, this is going to act like a palette. I'm going to add pigment on here. Here it doesn't matter that I'm burnishing the paper. I just want a lot of pigment. So I've got pigment on there and a little bit of the orange, because this is the two colors that we're going to blend. So now this acts like a little palette. The minute I add water onto that, I have essentially created watercolor paint. And you see that massive puddle of paint, soluble pigment that I created. So now I can go in with the purple at the top. It's not dark enough for a sunset, but we can fix that. Pick up a little bit more of my orange, blend that into the purple. It is going to give us a little bit of a muddy color because we are going across the color wheel over here, but that's fine. This is just micro mini art. It does not have to be perfect. You can even add a little bit of yellow just to blend out the edges. Sorry, see, sometimes the brush just dries up. Let's blend that out. There we have a beautiful ombre blended background, and we're going to let that dry. And while that dries, I'm going to show you one more way that you can work with your watercolor pencils, and that is making a little palette for yourself. So what I did here is I took my sharpener. Let's go into the purple because there's not much purple left here. I'm going to sharpen my pencil into this little container, and this was just a polymer clay container, whatever. It can be a bought palette, like a paint palette that you've bought, or it could be an upcycled container like this. I'm going to remove all these wooden bits. Now I have got raw pigment in there. Normally that goes in the bin, but sometimes we're going to save that. I don't do it all the time, but I do, like if I need a color in here. So I've added water. Now I need to make sure that each one of those little pieces of pencil is dissolved into this little palette here. And what I've created here, I'll get another piece of paper, is essentially again watercolor paint. And this I can now use in any watercolor method, any painting method. I can drop clean water in there and make blooms. Okay, and then you leave it in there to dry, and next time when you want to go and paint something like more watercolor effect than pencil effect, that just reactivates on contact. There's a beautiful background for a little something. Okay, so straight pencil onto paper, working from a palette onto your paper, or you make your own watercolor palette out of watercolor pencils. It just shows you how versatile the product is. So let this dry, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to have a sip of tea, and we're going to do our little birds. If you are sitting outside in the sun, you can leave this in the sun and it will dry within minutes. I used a heat gun just to speed this up for the video purposes, and now my paper is all buckly. But guess what? Paper doesn't have a memory, and you can flatten it out again very easily. Okay, now this is a very basic, very quick art tutorial. This is just for you to play around with some art supplies. You could, if you wanted to, if you're not happy with the background, do a second layer. You'll literally just repeat the same steps, and you can by that way, like layering the colors, like in watercolor pencils does the same. You keep layering and the color becomes darker and more intense the more layers you add. All right, so what we need now is our black. There you are. And we're going to make little V birds or M birds. Those are those ones that look like that. So you can call them V birds, M birds. We're going to add few, so always an uneven number because that's aesthetically more pleasing to the eye. So we're going to add, ew, that one didn't. There we go. You can leave them as is, or you can activate them to just bring out the intensity of the black color. I'm just making sure that this is a nice thin. So just to show you the difference between an activated one and if you left them dry, as dry pencil. I actually prefer the dry pencil, but let's go. So now we're going to do a little tree silhouette. We're not going to do a straight up and down tree. So we're going to go down the bottom a little. This is going to get colored. My tree is probably too big if you compare it to my birds, but this is no art competition. We are just playing, and it's just a silhouette of a tree. Like I said, don't go for perfection. Go for the time that you're actually sitting down and doing something. So show up for you, play a little bit, and be okay with what happens. All right, I'm going to activate this. So the black is obviously quite an intense color, and that is going to give us that beautiful silhouette. Oh, my tree is slightly wonky, but that's okay. I'm going to add a few grasses. So now those are wet and they're very light, so they will look like they're further away. Atmospheric perspective, they will look further away. So if I take the dry pencil and I go onto this wet paper, I will be able to add a few grasses that's darker on top. So you can play around with that. You can activate some of these, can leave some of them unactivated. That's just playing around. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just need to sit down and play. Thank you for staying to the end. I'm quickly going to show you yesterday's prompt, but with watercolor pencils. I'm going to do a different color flower. So we've got, yesterday was blobby blooms. That's probably not the best color for a flower. Again, I'm using the pencil on the side. I made my blobs. You can mix in a few more colors that add yellow for a little pop of color. And now I'm going to activate those. I'm just going to put a drop of water in the center of each of those. And look at that beautiful blob. Sometimes you'll see pencil marks in the back. That's fine. That's just visual texture. It's the nature of the product. You don't always get all of the lines blended away. So while that is wet, I'm going to take my black pencil and I'm going to go and do my little, yesterday I did very big long petals. Today I'm doing shorter petals. So wherever it touches is going to draw moisture, and some areas are going to look darker and more intense, and some areas just going to be dry pencil. Okay, and I can even, if I wanted to go and add more of the dry pencil onto the wet paper, create some texture, add a few more pieces of color. And then I did something really fun, and that is I made these leaf-ish looking greeny bits in the background. What I did is added a drop of water onto my scrap piece of paper. Then I put my green pencil into that water until the tip is actually quite wet. And now again, can you see I'm using the side of the pencil and I'm just rolling it in between my fingers, and I'm not doing specific leaf shapes, but I am adding visual texture, the idea of leaves of green plants in the back of these flowers. There we go. Tomorrow is day 3 and we are going to play with a little bit of a bigger setup for those who don't want to cut little pieces of paper. You want to actually work in a sketchbook or something. So check out for tomorrow, and thank you for joining me.